Hello, my name's Ryan.
Hello, my name is Tijani.
Okay, cool. Okay. Hello, I'm Ryan. This is
Tijani.
Tijani, and I'm going to ask him very quickly a question. I'm a Christian.
I'm a
He's
Muslim.
Eisegesis versus exegesis. Eisegesis, you read meaning into a text. Exegesis, you take meaning out of the text. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, is in the middle of a very dour book in the Bible where they're in suffering. Jeremiah, he's writing to the people saying, it's going to get better later. He's not writing to us, he's writing to the people. And a lot of people use that verse as a proof text to say, oh, your life's going to be good, but it's not true. It's very bothersome, and it's not just found in Christianity, it's found in every religion. Islam is often misquoted.
Quran is.
Do you have any examples or anything about eisegesis with the Quran?
Well, I'll say this. Within the scholarly tradition in Islam concerning the Quran, the proper eisegesis is the one that you read it into.
Yes, sir.
Okay, exegesis is reading meaning out of. Okay.
Yes.
Exegesis is the actual original methodology that the Quran was revealed to. For the sake of transparency, I will communicate that I think that the influence of eisegesis has come from basically Muslims in the West living mostly closer to Christianity.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I believe that that's really where our influence or our habit of doing that has actually originated from, because in classical Islamic theology, the Quran is used as a starting point for all theory and all deductions. You would actually go and look at the actual linguistic text, and then you would make your deductions, your calculations based off of the information or the data that you gathered there. A lot of times you'd have the basis of a theory or the basis of an idea or a concept that you would actually extract from exegesis, from actually looking objectively at the verses and the language and how the words are arranged and the linguistics of it, and say, well, I don't understand it, but this is what it says, and then you seek to decipher what's going on. We've kind of changed that. I think it's because we've secularized our approach to our religion, and as a result, we tend to find how we can reconcile between the preferences that we have versus what we see objectively in the book. And so this is how it happens. One famous verse, and this is one that I just made a video about, was Surah 4 verse number 3. Okay, this has to deal with, in Islam, just like an Old Testament law, Islam also allows for polygyny or polygamy, basically marrying more than one wife. This is a hotly debated topic, especially in modern Muslim society, especially in the West. Hotly debated. There are people on sides, some say for, pro, some are against. But a lot of times, interestingly, for those who are in opposition, they tend to use this verse or cite this verse as evidence that it is better to marry a single woman or marry one woman. But when you actually look in verse in actual context, you find out that between the first verse and this verse is being cited, Surah 4 verse 3, it's Surah Nisa, is a portion of a passage. So Surah 4 verse 2 and Surah 4 verse 3 address the issue of who are the ideal candidates for marriage. It starts first with young girls who are orphans that have become age of women, first preference. Then after that, the verse goes on to say, if you feel that you will not be able to deal justly with them, then marry 2 women, 3 women, or 4 women of your choice. If you feel that you're not going to be fair and just in that situation, then marry 1 or take a concubine. Is translated, but the word there is right-handed possession, so it's translated as concubine. And then the verse goes on to say that that's better for you in order to prevent you from doing injustice. Those who cite the verse will look at it and it says 1 is better, but they take the verse out of the complete context. It's an example of eisegesis versus exegesis, and this is very common. It's actually so common now, it's kind of like annoying at this point, because classic Islamic scholarship, if you look at it, you'll see how they deducted. They didn't always come up with the right answer, but the system was pretty much understood. It was pretty much followed. It was a process. We don't read the Quran like that now, and as a result, much of the benefit we would generally derive from it, we don't really gain.
In the Bible, it talks, if you go into a man's house and he offers you food, maybe best to eat it, even if it's rotten, or be like a good guest.
Okay.
You maybe extrapolate it further. Maybe I'm doing eisegesis right now, so forgive me.
What is interpretation and interpolation?
What?
Interpretation and interpolation.
What's that?
The interpretation is reading a verse and you're attempting to extract a meaning metaphorically. Interpolation, I have to look into that a little bit more clearly, because I don't want to give a false definition.
Next time.
Okay,
Or
next
in the
time.
future.
Right, but interpretation definitely means looking at the text and saying, well, I don't really know exactly what it's meant, but I can derive. Basically, you're looking at a metaphor or a parable and you're trying to extract understanding from that. That's not so bad as looking at the text and then saying that what you see there is it's not there, but it really means this when it says that by the letter. It's like the letter of the law. You have the letter of the law, the objective of the law, the spirit of the law, the precedent for the law, like so. It's likewise when you're looking in the Quran. You're looking first to see what the words actually say, and then you're trying to understand the objective that is meant to be gained from it, but that's actually coming from the text. You get that from the text. Then you say, well, maybe this is the precedent, this is how it was established, or this is how it was enacted on before. It's like a lawyer, he has a defendant, and so what the lawyer does is says, I'm going to defend this person, and so they try to look for precedents. They try to like weave up a case or something like that so that they can provide a convincing defense that'll win in court. Those are two different approaches. More than likely, and from what I understand, the judges mostly rules based on of what they understand the law, the spirit of the law to actually be. You know, and that, and then sometimes the letter communicates that, sometimes the letter doesn't. The lawyer, the judge has to look at the precedent, say this is what it was really doing, so this is really what's supposed to be going on. That goes on like that. Those two approaches, exegesis and eisegesis, from the way I am able to understand it, that's basically how it's working out. Some are objective, some are subjective. Unfortunately, you're going to get way different results, I'll say that much, from either approach.
There's a famous phrase used in Silicon Valley, and I'm sure elsewhere, garbage in, garbage out. You know, like eisegesis, exegesis, it's such a foundational, that's why it's important to address it.
Right.
Because a bad foundation, who cares who designed the building if the foundation's bad?
Yes, absolutely. I'm full agreement with you on that one.
Ohio State University has a parking garage that was designed in a postmodern way. You know, like postmodernism, the truth is that there is no truth, like trying to question everything. It's hilarious because it's got like stairways that lead to nowhere, you know, like purposeless things just put there just because they can. But the joke is, yeah, you might have a postmodern building, but you have to have a modern foundation or else it'll crumble. All the more important, it goes with our soul, our eternal soul. You better have a good foundation or else you go off in the wrong direction.
Right. Certainly so. That's how it goes. Trust in the Lord, man. Do your best. That's the best I can say.
All right. Well, you know, it's always good to end on a high note. Amen. Thank you, sir. Mr. Tijani, until next time.
All right, Mr. Ryan. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, that was quick and easy.